Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, and in today's video, we are going to be discussing some boom or bust players for fantasy football in 2021. Now, I'm going to tell you guys whether I feel like they're going to have the boom potential in 2021, or if I'm leaning closer to the fact that I think these players will end up being busts in fantasy football in 2021. So if you guys do end up enjoying this video, and you want more fantasy content, you want more NFL content, you want more NFL draft content, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below, because not only is it free, I put out content every single day surrounding all of that so I can help you guys win your 2021 fantasy football championship and understand the draft a little bit better. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to start with a running back, and this guy I love deep down in my heart, but I do understand that the situation isn't the greatest for this guy. We're going to figure out whether I like them this year or if I'm kind of fading away. Now, this is running back Joe Mixon of the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, Joe Mixon is currently coming off the board not as a first or second round pick. He's looking more like a third or fourth round pick in most drafts that I have done thus far on Underdog. Now, it appears this way because the production last year wasn't great, and the worries about the team as a whole. Last year finished as running back 49 in PPR, half PPR, as well as in standard leagues in 6 games. Now, Joe Mixon is not a player that I would describe as an injury-prone player. Sure, he has missed games in the past due to injury, but he's not one of those players where when you look up Joe Mixon or you're imagining Joe Mixon, you're like, you know what, this is a guy who's always getting hurt. 2019, he did not have a single injury. 2020, though, he did miss 10 games with that mid-foot sprain that occurred in week number 6, though he did average 16.6 PPR points per game, 14.8 half PPR points per game, and 13.1 standard points per game in that 6-game season, meaning he was running back number 11 in PPR points per game, 11 in half PPR points per game, and running back 12 in standard points per game. Now, one of the reasons why I like Joe Mixon a little bit better in 2021 is 2 things. The hope that they draft an offensive tackle with their first pick at pick number 5 of the 2021 NFL draft. Now, obviously, it's possible that they do what the fantasy people would like, and they end up drafting Jamar Chase. They bring in Joe Burrow's buddy from LSU, go Tigers, and then you're like, oh shit, now what is Joe Burrow going to do in that scenario? Because sure, his numbers may go up, but the fact that the offensive line just opens wide just for the taking of any defensive lineman, defensive back. I'm sure that offensive line couldn't stop your local grandmother who's at the Cincinnati Bengals game, because the offensive line is straight doo-doo when you don't have some of these guys that you can draft. Penny Sewell, he should be there at pick number 5. They have to draft him. This is under my guess that they draft him next month in the NFL draft. Also, there are reports that Giovanni Bernard, everyone's favorite Italian running back, is going to end up being traded. As I'm recording this, there's been reports that there are 6 teams interested in running back Giovanni Bernard. So if he ends up leaving, that really opens up the spot for Joe Mixon to get many more receptions. Because last year, if you guys remember Joe Mixon, when he was healthy, the guy is catching balls only every once in a while. And once he catches the ball, he looks really good, but for some reason, Zach Taylor and whoever's calling plays there have zero idea what the hell they're doing, because they need to give the ball more to Joe Mixon, because when he's in space and when there's not 7,000 guys in front of him because the offensive line is dog shit, then he actually does something. Now, Joe Mixon's stats last year, obviously, were not that great because he only played in a couple of games. In those couple of games he played, in 6 games, he had 119 carries for a grand total of 428 rushing yards, as well as getting 26 targets for 21 receptions and a grand total of 138 receiving yards and 4 total touchdowns. So obviously, that's not a season that's going to make your panties wet if you are a woman, or if you are a male, it's not going to make a little bit slip out of your cock, if you know what I'm saying. There's going to be a little bit of splooge or something. I don't know, or maybe some pre-cum, I guess would be the term, but sex ed aside the fact, I think that Joe Mixon has the potential to be very good, and he is in the perfect situation right now where you can draft him, and it's worth the risk. If he was going in the first round again, if he was going in the second round again, that I would legitimately have zero interest in even looking at Joe Mixon because of the worries of the offense. But when you're taking him in the 3rd round or in the 4th round. You don't expect him to be a top 12 guy every single week, but he does, in my opinion, have that potential as long as the Bengals do the draft correctly and as long as the offensive line is able to stay healthy. I think they have enough weapons in T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd to scare the defenses. All you need is a good offensive line so that they can run the ball with Joe Mixon down the throat. And again, we got to hope that Gio Bernard ends up getting traded. So next up, we got Wham Bam Cam Newton, quarterback of the New England Patriots. Now, despite a hot start last season where this guy was getting MVP chance, literally, he was skyrocketing up the MVP odds for the NFL, and then magically, it just went away. Like, he needed some Viagra or something because he just could not keep the blood flow going to rise up the rankings. He just ended up completely faltering. He was amazing in fantasy football for the first couple of weeks, but he finished as quarterback 16 in 4-point per passing touchdown leagues, and in 6-point per passing touchdowns leagues, much worse, finished as quarterback number 19. Now, he did end up missing 1 game due to having the coronavirus. Could that be why he didn't, or why he kind of simmered down? Maybe. I'm not a doctor, so I don't necessarily know how much COVID could have affected Cam Newton, but what I do know is after he got corona, he looked a little bit worse. He was averaging 17.3 4-point per passing touchdown points per game and 18.3 6-point passing touchdown points per game. Meaning, on a points per game basis, he was quarterback 19 in 4-point per passing touchdown leagues and quarterback 26 on a points per game basis in 6-point per passing touchdown quarterback leagues, which doesn't sound very good. Last year, his stats were not very good, if I'm being honest with you, especially in the touchdown category. I mean, the guy had 8 passing touchdowns, 34th at the quarterback position. He played 15 games, finished 34th at quarterback in passing touchdowns, 2,657 passing yards, 24th highest in the NFL. Now, there are definitely a reason to like Cam Newton because he was the 2nd highest rusher in the NFL in terms of carries with 137 at the quarterback position, 42 red zone carries at the quarterback position, number 1, 592 rushing yards, 3rd at quarterback, and 12 rushing touchdowns, 1st at quarterback. So you might be thinking, oh, Nick, now maybe I'm back in on Cam Newton. You have to understand the situation he's in. Now they have added the likes of tight end Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. Wide receivers, Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne. The question is, will we see the Cam Newton of last year who got to a hot start, or are we going to see the Cam Newton of the end of this season? Are we going to see the Cam that won MVP, or are we going to see the Cam that was in the Super Bowl on his MVP season who completely choked? To me, I'm not sold in on Cam Newton. I just simply am not. I think that the New England Patriots are going to be better in 2021, but they are a team that is very reliant on the rushing game. They could potentially draft another running back. Now, I know that might sound crazy, but that's possible. These weapons that New England has, besides Henry, besides Jonnu Smith, Nelson Aguilar, is nothing to get excited about. Neither is Kendrick Bourne. So while I think that this team will be better, Cam Newton definitely has better weapons overall, I am still worried about Cam's arm. Just his arm ability. I'm not too sure he can hit a guy 30 yards down the field, or if he's going to be able to throw 20 to 25 touchdowns to be able to finish as the quarterback you want him to. So right now, I'm not saying that I wouldn't draft Cam Newton because he goes so far back in the drafts that he's worth a shot as your quarterback too. But I honestly think, yet again, he is going to fail to put up to the expectations that a lot of people are going to put onto him in 2021. So right now, I'm dubbing him as a bust. If you guys have enjoyed this video thus far, we're about 8-9 minutes in. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. So next guy up here, we got wide receiver Jerry Judy of the Denver Broncos. Now, coming into the NFL draft, in my opinion, Jerry Judy out of Alabama was the best wide receiver. Did he finish that way? No. We saw Justin Jefferson skull-fuck defenses with the Minnesota Vikings. Jerry Judy had a very rough rookie season. Wide receiver 45 in PPR, 43 in half PPR, and 43 in standard in 16 games with 14 starts, averaging 9.8 PPR points per game, 8.2 half PPR points per game, and 6.6 standard points per game. On a points per game basis, Jerry Judy finished as wide receiver 45 in PPR, 44 in half PPR, and 43 in standard. Now, what was the issue with Jerry Judy last season? Now, the issue with Judy is part on him, part on Drew Lock, and part on a failure of the system. I believe if this team brings in Desean Watson, now again, I don't know what's going to happen with Desean Watson. It seems worse and worse every single day. I believe it is up to 16 cases that are alleged against him right now. So, I'm not saying Desean Watson didn't do it. I'm not saying he did do it. I frankly have no idea. Is Desean Watson going to even play again? And if he does, will he be able to get traded to the Broncos? Will they be able to draft a quarterback where they are at in the draft? I don't know. I do not know. This is the issue with trying to understand Jerry Jeudy. So, right now, we're going to go under the assumption that it's horsecock Drew Lock going for one more year. Last year, 21st highest wide receiver in targets, 113. Only 52 receptions. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. For only 856 receiving yards and 3 total touchdowns. Yikes. Now, what is it because of? His 8 drops? Yes, but it also is the fact that Drew Lock isn't very good. So, it's kind of confusing. I think that Judy is talented enough that if Courtland Sutton returns healthy, which he should to start the season, that the 1-2 punch of Jerry Jeudy and Courtland Sutton will be very strong, and I think we could actually see Jerry Jeudy be a complete and utter boom player in drafts in 2021, so I'm going to go on the side of a boom season for Jerry Jeudy in 2021 of the Denver Broncos. Next up, we got a controversial player in James Robinson. Either I've seen both sides. Either people fucking love James Robinson and are thinking he's a top 10, top 12 guy again, or there's the crowd that thinks that James Robinson is going to be dog water in 2021. He finished as running back 7 in all type of league formats, PPR, half PPR, and standard in 14 games last season, averaging 17.9 PPR points per game, 16.1 half PPR points per game, and 14.4 standard points per game, ranking 7th in PPR points per game, 8th at the running back position in half PPR points per game, and 7th in standard points per game at the running back position. So, what's different with the Jags in 2021 versus 2020? For one, they have an actual running back behind him in Carlos Hyde, which isn't that exciting. But what this tells me is that they're likely not going to draft a running back somewhat high enough to worry me. I think Carlos Hyde is going to get touches. Why do I think he's going to get touches? Because last year, it was literally just James Robinson. I don't have the exact snap share number, but I wouldn't be surprised if James Robinson was out there 80% of the time. Literally, every time you flip on a Jags game, they're on offense, James Robinson is out there like 80% of the time. It was insane. So they had to bring someone in. So it's not going to be an 80% snap share, but I believe that they're going to draft Trevor Lawrence. I believe the addition of Marvin Jones, I believe the addition of Trevor Lawrence and Marvin Jones together and the wide receiver core that's already there will mean a lot for James Robinson because they are going to be able to effectively and efficiently move the ball. Their defense is very young. It's not bad. It's not great, which tells you that maybe there's opportunity for the defense to let them down in games where James Robinson is able to elevate them back up because James Robinson isn't just a running back, right? He is a pass-catching running back as well. So I'm really thinking we can see James Robinson continue to be as good as last year. Now, the volume will decrease, but I think the fact that Lawrence is there, that the offense should overall be better, will help out James Robinson tenfold. The guy had 240 carries last season, which I think will go down, 1,070 rushing yards, 5th at running back, for a grand total of 10 touchdowns with 60 targets, 11th at running back, 49 receptions, 9th at running back, 344 receiving yards, 14th at running back. This guy is a legit, complete NFL running back that they found off the fucking streets out of Illinois State. This man was undrafted. They found him off the streets, and he's fucking amazing. So, don't overthink it, in my opinion. I think a lot of people are going to dub James Robinson as a bust. They're going to say, oh, Nick, I'm worried about Carlos Hyde. I'm worried about this. I'm worried about that. To me, I'm not scared to draft this man in the 3rd round. I'm not. I'm not scared to draft him in the 2nd round, but I'm not trying to reach on him. I'm trying to just let him fall directly in my lap. Boom, you smack the draft button on him in the 3rd round, and you're going to be very happy. I'm thinking James Robinson booms again. Now, I'm not saying he finishes as running back 7 again, but he's not being drafted as that. He's not. He's being drafted as like running back 16, 17 with top 12 potential in my opinion. So I like James Robinson a lot. I'm sold back in again, as long as the Jags don't do something fucking stupid and draft like Zach Wilson at 1 or something. So final player here, this is more to just get a tight end in the video because there weren't too many tight ends that I felt were boom or bust, but I'm going with Chris Herndon, and I'm going to put it all on the line and say there's potential for Chris Hardin, I almost just said like James fucking Harden, Chris Herndon to have a boom year. Now I understand, Nick, you said that last year. I know, I did. He couldn't stay healthy, and he had Adam Gase. We've seen flashes of Chris Hardin, who finished tight end 33 last year in PPR, 35.5 PPR, and 34 in standard leagues. And I saw the potential of him. We saw the boom in 2018 of the player. The guy's scoring touchdown. The guy's wide open. The guy's a fucking freak of an athlete. If you look at his player profiler, this dude is a beast. Out of Miami. 25 years old. I understand that he was a 4th-round pick, but in my opinion, he is very talented, and I think that at the end of the day, with the new coach, new quarterback, we can actually see what we should have seen out of Chris Herndon for the last 3 seasons. I'm not saying to draft him high up. This motherfucker is going undrafted in fantasy leagues. I'm talking about in best ball leagues in like the 18th round. I draft him all the time. Why? Because there's tremendous upside with a very good player on a team that is looking to get better under a head coach that is actually competent. So let me know what you guys think about all these players. Do you guys agree? Do you hate Chris Herndon? I mean, I understand if you didn't like Chris Herndon because he's like tight end 30 coming off the board. So he won't even get drafted in most leagues. I'm just saying I think he does genuinely have the potential to boom in 2021 and be a great tight end that you'll probably just pick up off the waiver wire. So thank you guys all so much for watching. I love each and every single one of you motherfuckers. And if you made it all the way this far, leave a comment down below saying Reese's Puffs, because that's that peanut butter, chocolate flavor. I love the rest of you guys. I love all of you guys, actually. Anyone who even watched the video now, only a select few of you will have made it this far. So congratulations to you. I'm not too sure how you do it. Some people do it every single time. They post the magic word that I talk about at the end of the video, like every single time. And to me, that's amazing. Shout out to you guys. I do love you. I love everyone who watches my videos. Thank you guys for the great year we've had so far. Coming up in April, it's almost draft time, guys. We're about less than a month away now from draft. That is on April 29th of the first round of the NFL draft. So I'm very excited about that. Not too sure what we're going to do for the draft, whether I'm going to be live streaming every pick or just as the pick happens, I break it down and then post a video. There may be a live stream for every Dolphins pick because obviously that's very important to me. And I will probably get very angry when the Dolphins don't do what I want them to do. So I love you guys all. Have a great rest of your guys' day. I'll see you beautiful bastards in the morning. As always, peace out, guys.